Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
Mike, 24F, friend 24F told me she cheated with a married man, 37M. So I've known Abigail, 24F, since we were youngsters. She just returned from an overseas trip with a large party that included a married pair, James, 37M, and his wife. Her partner, Wyatt, 25M, did not accompany her, and neither did I. I was catching up with Abigail today, talking about her trip, when she dropped this bombshell on me. Abigail and James apparently got intoxicated one night and together. They didn't make physical contact, but she did give him oral. His wife was ill, so she was in another room. None of this is known to the wife or Wyatt, and neither pair is in an open relationship. Abigail and James have decided to keep this information private, although obviously she told me. They're still in contact, but only on a platonic level. In Abigail's opinion, this isn't a big deal, and she doesn't feel bad about it because there's no emotional connection and it was just a drunken vacation. I questioned her why she didn't simply tell Wyatt what happened if it wasn't such a huge deal. She said that it is because he will be enraged. All of this is making me nervous. I've seen Abigail cheat on a few boyfriends in the past, but it was always near the end of those relationships, when she was about to dump them. Edit to clarify. I didn't find out about her infidelity until she'd already dumped those guys, which was months or years afterwards. She's very serious about Wyatt and has discussed marriage and having children with him. They've been dating for about 2 years and like together. Plus, although Wyatt isn't my cup of tea, I think he's sort of obnoxious. He's been nice to Abigail, has a stable, high-paying job, and is our age. Why did she cheat on him with this older married man? I don't know James or his wife, so I'm not sure if I should remain silent or speak up to Wyatt. I'm the only one Abigail has told, so she'll undoubtedly know he found out through me, and it'll probably damage our relationship. I don't really like Wyatt. He's not rude or violent, just a bit of a know-it-all. And I don't particularly want to get engaged in any drama. But if she's going to marry this person, don't I have a moral duty to tell him the truth? What am I supposed to do? Update. But Wyatt found out before we ever met up to have that talk. It seems that James was cheating on his wife with at least one other woman, and that lady became irritated and texted the wife photographic evidence of the affair. James' wife freaked out and compelled him to let her go through his phone. So when the wife learned about Abigail, all hell broke out. Wyatt got a call from the wife. Wyatt and James are evidently family friends, which I didn't know. He drove over to confront James in person. They got into a fight, and Wyatt ended up in the police station. Abigail contacted me in tears, begging for a lift to the station since Wyatt had driven their vehicle to James' residence. I had no clue what was going on at this point, so I consented and we went down there, which is when I learned the full tale. I was so fed up with their nonsense that I simply dropped Abigail off and went. Wyatt now has a court date in a few weeks. James and his wife are most likely divorcing. I'm not sure whether Abigail and Wyatt are going to remain together, but I'm trying not to become involved. I feel awful for her, and we've been friends for almost 15 years, but I also believe it's her own fault. Story 2. Ex-girlfriend cheated on me with a co-worker, but made everyone believe I lied. I ended my relationship with her 3 months ago. Because it was my first relationship, I was foolish enough to dismiss every warning sign. When she had a boyfriend, I got friends with her. She began flirting with me heavily, and after a while, she ended her relationship with him to be with me. I'm quite sorry about this, since the man wasn't a terrific buddy, although we did hang together on occasion. When she attempted to break up with him, he wanted to have with her one more time out of frustration and anger, since he believed she emotionally cheated on him, and while she agreed at first, she felt violated afterwards. She is quite insecure, therefore saying no is really difficult for her. She said several strange things to me throughout our relationship. She seemed to be thinking about me all the time when she was having with her ex, and she wanted to kiss me several times while she was still in a relationship with him. We had been together for 2 years. It was quite difficult for me since I immediately realized she couldn't be trusted. During our relationship, I had to persuade her to block 4 different guys because she didn't believe me when I told her that a guy asking for a date doesn't want to be just friends. I went above and above for her. I got us an apartment because she used to cry every day about her mother being toxic to her. She nearly cheated on me with a coworker after a month of myself living together. She hung out with him after work for almost 6 hours after each shift and texted him that she loved him. I saw this when I checked her phone after she had been lying about 90% of the time. While her coworker was picking her up in his vehicle, she was usually buying groceries or going to a buddy. I was really stunned and couldn't read the other messages. The most recent message I saw said that she was in love with him while embracing him. When she arrived home, I broke up with her. When I informed her family she had cheated on me, she immediately broke off all connections with the man in order to save face and portray me as a liar. She moved back in with her toxic family, who had suddenly become wonderful to her. After a few weeks, she began a new connection with her best friend's brother to claim she had never had anything with the coworker. I was blocked by everyone, and now I'm the evil guy, because I forced her to leave and ruined her connection with her family. I honestly believe in karma. I'm feeling messed up during the holidays, while she's having the time of her life. I know she does since I was once in the same situation as the new man. She'll probably remain with him for years, while it'll take me a long time to trust someone again. Story 3. I cheated and don't know how to forgive myself. Hey, I am a 28-year-old woman who left her home country to be with my spouse. Since I moved, I've been suffering from homesickness, which has gradually turned into depression. Furthermore, in the 3 years I've been here, I became pregnant twice, one of which was an unplanned accident. So now we have 2 very young infants. I lost my sister a year ago, and that was when everything began to fall apart. It was also the moment when I had just given birth to my beautiful baby. Postpartum depression was diagnosed in me. I was cured, but the sadness returned, this time more greater. My spouse is devoted to our children. In fact, it is his primary concentration. He opted to be a stay-at-home father. I work part-time to make ends meet. The issue isn't money. It's that we see each other every day but rarely talk. When we argue, he gets physical. He smacked me a couple times, leaving blue stains on my body. I understand that striking is unacceptable, but I always expected him to change. I also shared pictures of my injuries to my in-laws. They just erased my photos. I've never considered the possibility of cheating. However, I've been feeling so depleted that I've had the impression that I'm living on autopilot. My in-laws never inquired about my well-being, and they never regarded me as a person just as the wife of my husband's father. Just for the sake of feeling something, I started having the desire to with someone around 3 weeks ago. So I downloaded an app, chatted with a representative, and completed the task. We got in touch with each other. After that, I'd banned him from my contacts list and ceased corresponding with him. The fact that I didn't even try to hide it meant that my spouse found out about it 2 days later. He slammed into me so hard that I couldn't move. He goes around to all of my friends and tells them that I am and that what I did was terrible. My in-laws forbade me from attending. My body and face were battered as a result, and I was left all by myself. It was a really lonely place. Because I did the inconceivable, it was my own responsibility. I should have done more to keep my sense of aliveness alive. I'm uneducated and naive at the same time. I explained to him why I had done what I had done over the course of 3 weeks. Given that he is aware that I suffer from depression, he claims to have forgiven me and wants to continue our relationship. He even went out of his way to send me flowers a few days later in an attempt to make things great. I respect him, but my melancholy is growing. I now wake up with the impression that I've done something very dreadful, and I can't help but despise myself. I'm really contemplating suicide, and the only reason I'm thinking about my children right now is because the idea of them keeps me from committing myself. I'm not sure how I'm going to get back into the swing of things. My in-laws, family, and friends are all well aware of what I've been up to lately. I'm scared that if they see me, they'll just see a huge failure sign on my face, and that will be it. Can I continue to live in this manner for the rest of my